like and subscribe. What is a sign of a cry for help that I know it obvious to the average person? Lack of interest. Gamer all of a sudden no longer games. Gardener let his plants die. Social butterfly now hides in a cave. When someone is constantly busy, so they don't give themselves time to think. Also when someone gives up on a lot of basic things, like cleaning or doing washing up, because they cannot think about anything, except what is bothering them. Second-hand suicide, when they joke about being killed in an accident. This is usually because they feel there are people in life who need them, and they don't want to commit suicide themselves. Reaching out and being overly nice to friends both close and casual with the hope that they will reciprocate, and eventually ask them how they are doing, so that when they open up it is not about being a burden, but because they were prompted to do so. Giving a lot of personal possessions away without wanting anything in return. No joke, this lady I used to work with was telling me about how her son gave his skateboard away to a little kid out of the blue, and how proud she was of him being so selfless. My immediate thought was, oh my god, that kid is going to kill himself. Of course, how the do you go about telling someone that without sounding like a complete asshole? So, I put the thought away, figured I was probably overreacting anyway, kid probably just wanted to be nice to the little boy, no cause for concern. The following week, she came into my office, just totally numb, and says, can you take care of X thing? My son has been hospitalized. He attempted suicide. I wished I had said something, but there is like no tactful way to say that without royally eyeing someone off. Can you imagine being proud of your son for doing something seemingly selfless, and then being met with, hey, might be more to that /s a sign that he might be plotting his own demise? Thankfully, the kid survived. Turned out he had some kind of rare tumor that caused his mental health to completely derail. Edit, I appreciate everyone /s blame in the comments. I was 20 years old when this happened, full of anxiety and out in myself. But thank you also very much for your judgment. I know it /s helped me mentally. Some people become very quiet and docile, like if they've resigned themselves to the minimum. The person stops caring about their appearance and neglects their hygiene and grooming, because in their mind they are thinking that it doesn't /t matter, since no one likes them anyway, that they don't /t deserve to be clean, or that it won't /t make their lives better, so why bother? When they start cutting off contact, that outgoing, happy person suddenly just ISN /t up to it, or maybe some other time, then something is wrong. Also if they stopped caring about their physical appearance. It may seem a bit obvious, but when someone says that they don't see themselves living past a certain age, or acting surprised that they made it to a certain milestone in their lives, going out of their way to talk/reach out to PPL when that's not the norm for them. Excess of drinking when they usually don't. Edit. Didn't expect this would blow up. But I pray everyone who this touches works on themselves. For my childhood trauma, I'm 30 and it still affects me. But with heavy therapy, doing the work that my therapist needs me to do to work through things, I'm living a stable life. If you haven't tried talking to someone, please just try. Even if it's not a therapist, find someone to talk to. Sleeping all day and having no interest. No one cares, they just walk by or don't understand. Makes you feel very alone. I don't want someone to fix me, but I do want someone to show they care. Also drinking a lot when you have never been a drinker. Marked differences in behavior, where the person becomes way more positive and energetic than normal. We tend to think of these sorts of changes as being good, but any sudden and large enough change in behavior is something you need to keep an eye on. This is especially true if they are going from a very negative pattern of thinking/behavior into a new but positive one very quickly. Usually, those "now I feel like I can conquer the world" changes are the precursor to suicide attempts and the like. When someone has obviously been crying or tears up without apparent provocation, even in a very public setting, it can be a sign that they re in too much pain even to try masking it. I've also heard of severely depressed people who abruptly snap out of it and go perky, and that can be indicative of a person who was agonizing over whether to end things, who has now decided to do so. Making that decision, sadly, gives them peace and relief. That is seriously not a joke. The snap is basically day and night. I had a period like that, and had a plan/date set. Only reason I am still here is my mom decided to make me Mickey Mouse pancakes. That surprised me, and made me realize how utterly broken she would be if I left. Cold nerd do that to her. She has done too much for me. So I got help, and it got better. Sleeping. People sleep more when they are avoiding a person/issue, when they are depressed, and when they are physically sick. In the case of someone who is high energy, and suddenly they have none, is a big heads up too. My ex Phil went from doing hours of yard work a day to doing none. He hit the point where he was ready to go, stopped eating right, and stopped drinking water, stopped cleaning himself. He'd had enough of life, decided it was time. Edit for clarity, he died. Second edit, oh wow. I'm completely stunned this blew up. And the awards are very unexpected and nice. Thank you, everyone. Third edit, please, if you have depression, have compassion for yourself. If you haven't already, please seek help. The sleep problems which come with depression can become a source of frustration. I don't want that for anyone. Purposely avoiding sad and difficult topics. Sometimes when a person is constantly feeling like the last thing they want to do is bring up more negativity when hanging out with people they enjoy being around. Oftentimes being with friends/family can be a brief escape from always feeling awful, and so bringing up negative topics can ruin this feeling of escape, and make the depression feel never-ending and suffocating. Maybe they took weeks to tell you they failed a test or even dropped out of school. Maybe you randomly hear from someone else that their dog died. Maybe they always switch the radio station from the news to pop songs. Could be anything big or small, usually multiple things. Sudden drastic improvement in mood of a depressed person. It could be a sign they have a plan to commit suicide, and feel better, because they know it's gonna end soon. Nah, I am fine. Joking about self-harm/suicide. Lack of interest in things usually enjoyed. Giving away possessions. Suddenly being much happier/content after being sad/unhappy for a long time. This is often a sign that suicide was planned and/or prepared. Self-isolation. Anger/frustration. Lack of hygiene. Sleeps a lot/always tired. Laziness. Self-harm, yes, even if it /s just for attention. These people are inflicting physical damage on themselves like cutting, hitting, pulling hair etc. Substance abuse. Reckless behavior, egg crossing the street without looking, driving faster than the speed limit etc. Strange habits regarding food, loss of appetite, binge eating, refusing to eat in front of people, constantly counting cows, obsession with fitness etc. Loss/gain of weight. Asking questions such as would you visit me in the hospital or similar questions. Apathy. There are more, but I can /t think of any right now. Just know that, if your friends give you an off vibe, it /s usually right and something /s up. That doesn't /t necessarily mean they /re suicidal, but maybe something happened recently. Just be there for them. And if your friends are generous, make sure you watch their weight and eating habits, especially if they are men. A lot of men develop eating disorders while they go to the gym, and they go unnoticed, because EDs are often viewed as something only white teen girls get, when that /s not true at all. I'm just going through these comments, checking every single one off, just knowing I've been deeply depressed a long time. I'm not sure it's an intentional cry for help, or just a symptom of a lost soul, but so far I've known I think 7 people now who have committed suicide, and every single one of them had something alarmingly wrong physically to where it was visible the second I saw them. Like they had either lost a lot of weight and looked pale, or they just looked exhausted and withdrawn. One of them was having trouble walking, and needed help getting in and out of a car. This was a young healthy girl. She was also practically incapable of having a conversation. It made people feel very uncomfortable. Turns out she was grieving so hard over the loss of her mother, that she was like shutting down physically and mentally. It was a little different each time, but each time I remember thinking holy, what's going on with so and so the second our they dies off and on. Basically they were not themselves, even before we said hello. And then within days or weeks they are gone. I have vowed that, if I ever see those signs, that kind of exhaustion and body language again, that I will not let that person out of my sight, and I will pry it out of them, if I have to. A reduction in food consumption. I have found when I have fallen down the hole and I just stop caring anymore, I don't eat anywhere near as much as I normally do. Instead of having the standard 3 to 4 meal things a day, I'll be lucky to convince myself to have 2, as I simply don't care anymore. Saying I am sorry for everything, or taking the blame for things that shouldn't /t even have a blame. Thank you so much for the silver award. I appreciate it. 33. Also remember guys, my DMs are always open, for literally anything. I loved waking up this morning to see the discussions going on. Thank you guys for my first popular Reddit response. Oversharing and lack of filter goes hand in hand with depression. Bad decisions looking for short-term happiness with no regard for how it will damage their life in the long run. Getting a nectar too, buying a Mitsubishi, that sort of thing. Hell, people don't take you seriously when you straight up say I need some. I'm helpo vertical bar I am dying here, so I am not sure why we should expect them to notice the small things. You've been visited by the ghost of a very important man. Pay your respects by liking and subscribing, and he'll grant you 3 weeks of good luck.